Alright, guys. I wasn't going to do a reading today, but when I went to lay down, I kept feeling like I was supposed to do a reading. So when I didn't want to do it, then I started feeling pains in my shoulders, which meant I had to get up. So I went ahead and pulled the first cards here and rolled the dice, and we got book 2, which is Pillow Thoughts by Courtney Peppermill. And so I'll read the book here and then go over the cards. And this is going to be a twin flame reading. I have been avoiding this, but let's see. Okay, so we got 38. I had a dream that I was under my skin, lost and wandering around my body, and in my mind there were pictures hanging on the wall, and they were of all the people I had ever loved. But in my heart there was only one picture frame, and it took up nearly every space, a single frame of you. Well, that is probably the most perfect definition of a twin flame in a poem I've ever read. So good job, 38. Okay, so 38 may be significant to you. Alright, so when I pulled the cards here, for the past, you got the Knight of Wands in reverse, which usually means that you are acting out a character. In other words, it kind of means you're being a dick or a bitch. So you two probably got into a fight or got into an argument or did something, and you probably, I don't know if you treated each other badly or if you just said things that you did that were just mean to your partner. But that's what you got for the past. Okay, for the current energies, you got the Eight of Swords in reverse, which is a good thing. Like, this is one of the few ones in reverse that I feel is good, because this means that you're stepping out of being bound and being confined. So you're stepping out of your head and you're stepping in and being yourself again. Okay, and for the future, the Tower. All right. I always tell everybody, if you get a reading and you don't like the way that it goes, you can change everything in the reading minus the major arcanas. And this is one of those. So it's telling you that the Tower is coming. And the way that this looks here, like with someone being an a-hole, and you obviously had to just now step back into who you are and stepping in back into your voice. More than likely, this Tower moment that's coming is probably a good one. It's probably just like an awakening of something maybe that you didn't see or something that you missed, like, because in the way that I'm seeing it right now, like, both people are gonna be awakened. They're both gonna have to fall off their high horse. And that's the way that I see this card at this moment. Like, especially being followed by your device. Because this is telling you right here that more than likely This happened because of a misunderstanding. Whatever the fight was, whatever the argument was, why you got trapped up in your head for so long that you're just now finally coming out, it was probably all a misunderstanding. You probably miscommunicated. You probably, yeah, and I'm going to assume that's why this Tower moment's going to come. I'm going to assume that the advice of misunderstanding is telling you that you're misunderstanding. You're probably going to have a change of view, and you may see from the other person's point of view. Under the deck that you don't see is the Empress in reverse. We're going to leave that there. And we are going to see, we're going to pull from the Romance Angels here. See what's going on between. Alright, give me a past, present, and a future for my twin flames, please. And the first thing out of the deck is the Twin Flame card. This in my decks, this is my number one go-to for Twin Flames. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. Okay, your spiritual path. A twin flame. Twin flames are supposed to come together. They are supposed to meet and awaken, because they are supposed to be the ones that bring love back into the world. They're supposed to be the healers that once they come together, they can show the world the love of God, and or just heal the world in general. And they don't have to do it together. That's the hard part. That's the part that you never really know. Like, they were meant to be together, but sometimes the path is just so hard and so intense that they don't end up together. But they come together so that they awaken each other. It's like when you take the red part of the car jumper cables and you touch it to the wrong thing. Or you even attach it to the right thing, but it's just like a little bit off. That big giant spark. That happens, and yeah, it changes you because it forces you, it's going to force you to look inside yourself to see what you need to heal within you. And if you, I'm going to say this, if you are solely looking at what your partner did wrong, what your twin flame did wrong, then you are missing the whole point of the journey. The point of the twin flames to come together is so that they mirror to you all the things that you need to heal within your life. Like, if you meet your twin flame and your twin flame is not very loving to you, that will mirror to you that you are not being very loving to yourself. And I'm not making an excuse for if a twin flame is not being loving to you, because that's still on them. But they're going to magnify the things that you need to heal. Alright, and for current energies for our twin flames, what is going on with our twin flames currently? Currently, you are in separation. Okay, which is probably this misunderstanding and you being a dick and a bitch to each other, or whiny, or whatever it is. So you are currently in separation. Time apart from your partner is on the horizon. Normally when you come together with a twin flame, the masculine will usually get scared. Which usually you assume that the masculine energy is going to be the one that stands the strongest. But it is the masculine who will do the running. Deception. Someone is wearing a false self-mask in this relationship. Okay. This can be many things. You can be deceiving someone else, or you can be deceiving yourself. And a lot of times that happens, you know, where we deceive ourselves and we're like, this is not my twin flame. No, this can't be my twin flame, because if this was my twin flame, it would be different. It would be perfect. I would have them. We would be in union. And this glorious thing that was supposed to come into my life that I was told about many, many years ago, like, that I have been waiting my whole life to find, and I finally get it, and this can't be it, because it is not supposed to be like this. Well, I'm going to say this right now. If that is how you feel, then you probably did not get yourself ready for this union. You probably have not done your self work, your soul work, the healing work. If you are deceiving yourself and being like, this is not my twin flame, I don't want this twin flame, which actually supposedly happens a lot. Supposedly a lot of twin flames don't even want their twin flame to be their twin flame because they hurt each other. And here's the difference. If someone is a horrible, horrible person, that is one thing. But if your twin flame comes into your life and just does something that irritates you and you leave, then that is something completely different. Like, look at look at the underlying circumstances to why you don't want this union. Why? Is it because it's too hard? Because it's going to take some work? Well, every single thing that you do in life is going to take work. Every single thing that you want that is going to be good for you, it's going to take some kind of work. If you want a child, you are going to have to put in work. If you want a house, then you're going to have to put in work for it. Even after you get it, you have to put in the work. Everything that is good in your life that is brought to you requires work. And if you are not willing to put in that work, if you are not willing to go through the trials, if you are not willing to go through the tribulation, if you're not willing to go through the arguments or the hard times, then God will take your person from you until you are willing to put in your part of it, because otherwise it will be an unrequited or a one-sided relationship. If you say, I'm not going to deal with this because it's too hard, but your other person is still standing there when they are, then you have made that relationship one-sided. So you got to be careful, because the deception card, it can fall, but it does not necessarily mean that the deception is from your partner. A lot of times in the twin flame journey, there is a lot of deception for self, because we want to believe that we're perfect, that we can walk on water just like Jesus, and our twin flame is the one who does everything wrong. But that is not the case. It takes two people to screw up anything. So you need to always see both sides of the story. Like, I mess up. I know I do, because sometimes I get whiny. I think that's why my twin flame is mad at me right now. I was whiny because I wanted him to spend more time with me, and he was ignoring me but paying attention to everybody else, and all I wanted to do was spend time with him and get to know him. And sometimes I get whiny. That's just who I am, I guess. I want to feel love. Okay. So all these fell in one thing. So this is what is coming. All right. The person has stirred your romantic feelings. You have to figure out that you deserve love. If there is something that you have held onto, and this release your ex card, it does not necessarily mean that you still want to date your ex. It does not mean that you are still with them. I mean, if you are still with your ex, then obviously there is a problem. Like, you need to, like, you shouldn't have even came towards your twin flame until that person was gone in the first place. But what this means is, the time has come to clear the energy. Now, a lot of people think, well, I don't like this person, so I'm just gonna block them and just forget about them. No, unless you do the work to either figure out the good that it brought to you, or you actually release that energy, they will stay in your energy. You will pull them in your readings, and you will continue to pull them in your readings until you release that ex. Release the hurt that it's caused of you. And in all of it anyways, you want to forgive, because I heard a long time ago this theory. Anger and resentment is like a hot coal, and if you sit here and you hold on to it, it doesn't make the other person, it doesn't hurt the other person. All it's doing is it's burning you, and it's hurting you. So you've got to drop that hot coal. You've got to drop the anger. You've got to drop the pain. You have to let it go. You have to forgive it. And once you do that, that's when you can actually release your ex. And that's when you can get your energy clear. And when that happens, that is the only way that you are going to come into reconciliation with this love. Because you've got the angels talking to your person here. This person that has stirred your feelings. But if you're not doing the work, and here, you got to stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. You've got to have the faith, but you have got to put in the work. You have got to get all this deception that you've got out of your head. The separation here, sometimes God separates you from your person, not as punishment, but as protection. If you come together with your person at the wrong time and you have not healed, if you have not released all this energy from your past, you are literally going to bleed all over the person who did not cut you. You are going to assume that they are going to treat you like your ex, and that is not okay. You can't go into a relationship after your ex cheated on you, or they went psycho crazy on you, or they treated you bad, or they yelled at you, or they were awful to you, and then bring that energy into something new. You will literally destroy your union. You cannot do that. You have got to release this past energy. You have got to remember that not every single person is your ex. This reconciliation, in my opinion, this shining bright, it looks like they're up in the clouds, meaning that it was made in heaven. You were meant to be with your person. They will return, but you have got to stay optimistic about it, and you have got to do your actual work and remember that you deserve love and you are worthy of it, but you have got to do the work to get it there. If you want this reconciliation, if you want this 5D to come down into the 3D, if you want everything that you were promised, the good parts of it, then you're going to do the work. Otherwise, you're just going to get the shit part of what you were promised. You will literally turn your blessing into a curse. I always heard that when you get your blessing, if you take it for granted, it will literally become the thing that curses you. It will be the thing that hurts you over and over and over again because you took it for granted. See? Okay. This is what you need to know that they're saying underneath the deck. You're worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. Now, I'm going to say this about divine timing. I'd heard it said so many times, over and over and over and over again. And it started to piss me off. And then I really thought about what divine timing meant. It meant God is not going to give you your person until you both do your work. So divine timing is really God saying to you, I'm not going to do it until it's time. You want divine timing to hurry up and be over? Do your work. Do your healing. Heal yourself. I'm going to tell you right now, like, it is hard. It is very, very hard. I can't tell you how many times I have cried since I have met my twin flame. But I can also tell you that it's worth it. Because sometimes we don't want to do the work. Because it's easier to just not do the work. It would be so much easier to just forget about your twin flame and go with that soulmate who isn't going to cause you problems, who you may not fight with, that may be good in bed and you don't got to deal with them after. But that's not what you were put here for, twin flames. You are meant for so much more. Yes. See, there it is. The unrequited love. If you do not do your work, you are literally leaving it all to one person. You are making it one-sided yourself. And I don't care which side this is that's taking this, the male, the masculine, or the feminine, because I'm not aiming this at one side. It has got to go both ways. You know, I had to call my own self out on my own bullshit to do my own work. And now I just have to wait and have hope, which I'm going to tell you, sometimes that gets kind of hard, because being in the 3D world, trying to think in the 5D, knowing that the masculine doesn't want to think about the 5D most of the time in most journeys, it gets really hard. And it just gets hard. But when you look at any twin flame who has made it through the tough, that's what I want. If you can make it through the tough with your twin flame, you will literally make it through to the person that you were meant to be with, because your twin flame will have every quality that you have in you. They will have that within them because they are you. They are a part of you. You know, so like if you are completely against cheating, I guarantee your twin flame, you will never have to worry about your twin flame cheating on you. If you want someone who's loyal because you are loyal, then your twin flame is more than likely going to be loyal. You're going to have the same base morals because you are the same person. It doesn't matter if you're on opposite sides of the world. It doesn't matter if you're different races. You are the same soul. So if you can make it through to that, when you see the actual twin flames that are in union, they are doing so much to help the world right now. They are guiding and leading so many people that are scared shitless because they're starting this and they don't know what to do. You know, because this is, most of the twin flames are awakening now in 2020. So if you can make it to that, I don't know. I will, like, with me, or since I met my true twin flame, everything else just seems like settling. It's just, I feel like that was not my purpose. And I have had a hard life. I have been dealt a lot of pain that I don't wish on my worst enemies from the time that I was a kid to growing up. So I feel bad if my twin flame, if the weight is because of me, because of all the stuff that I've had to go through. But I ultimately want this journey to be for a purpose. And I hope that on you as well. You know, you go through all of this, you need to have a purpose for it. Your purpose can be to help all those that have went through the pain that you have. Let's pull and see how your twin flame is feeling about you right now. These are actually the cards that I'd made for my twin flame before we separated. Alright, how they're feeling about you. Love is a two-way street, constantly under construction. It may feel like you're a little bit hard to deal with. It may feel like they've got to put in a lot of work with you. The most confused we ever get is when we try to convince our heads of something our hearts know is a lie. And there we go, right there. There's that deception, that mask that we're wearing. We try to convince our heads, you know, that we don't love this person, but it's not true, because we do. You can't not love your twin flame. Sorry. If anyone tells you they don't actually care for their twin flame, they either hate themselves at the moment or they're just lying. Because they are you. It doesn't matter what your twin flame does. You can be mad, and believe me, the rage can be extreme. But when it all boils down to it, you're going to forgive them because you love them. That's what you do when you love someone. And the third thing that they feel about you: I was never insane except upon occasions when my heart was touched. Edgar Allan Poe. That's how I kind of feel sometimes. I'm normal unless I fall in love. Then I'm like, I don't even know what I'm thinking. Alright, and let's see how you feel towards your twin flame at the moment. Make sure it's still recording. Yes, okay. Alright, you had a few fall here. Every girl, if you leave them alone long enough, will eventually sing and dance. So in other words, if you are the feminine right now, and this is how you are feeling, then you are finally getting back to being okay. You are getting over the pain that you feel the other person has caused you. Or if you're the masculine, I'd maybe like to sing and dance too. That's okay. All human wisdom is summed up in 2 words: wait and hope. I feel like this is the masculine, this is the feminine side, because this is 100% what the feminine will go through. They're waiting and just hoping that the masculine will return. Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. Do not doubt. This is where that faith is supposed to come in, feminines. And if it is reversed, if the masculine is the one who's waiting and the feminine is the one who's running, usually it's the masculine who runs, because the masculine is the doer of the dynamic. But as I was saying, feminines, if you are in this energy, don't doubt. Just keep your eyes up above. Do your self-work. do the work to heal yourself. Find the happiness in your day. You know, you can't always stare at the masculine. You've got to do yourself. You've got to fix yourself. And then just hope and wait that God helps your masculine. If they've still got karmic debt that they've got to go through, you've just got to wait and just let them learn. Let's see. The way I see it, if you want the rainbows, you got to put up with the rain. Dolly Parton. Everything is not perfect. You have to have a dynamic of both. If you don't have the bad, you'll never appreciate the good when it finally gets there. You may be thinking that your masculine isn't waiting, that maybe they do have a karmic partner that's got to come through. And if that's the case, you've just got to let them, feminines, because if they still have a karmic that's got to come through, that karmic has got to teach them something. And this was actually what I was told with my twin flame dynamic, is that we would have to separate. And I saw it on my twin flame's face in one of the readings that he did before we separated. And I told him, you know, that we would have to separate because I saw the sadness in him. And I knew that he wasn't healed, and I wouldn't be able to heal that. And I needed him to be able to love himself just as much as I wanted to love him. And I knew that it would take the separation so that he knows that he is good enough without me, without somebody else. Because I think that he's learned in his life that he's depended on other people, and that maybe he's held himself to a different standard, that he needed those people, or it said something about him. And that's not the case. I saw it and I felt it, that he had to learn that he was good enough for him. He had to learn to love himself. And I felt it so much because I had to learn the same thing. I had to learn that I was good enough, you know, that when people left, it didn't mean that I wasn't good enough. When people left, it meant that they were not the right person for me. It meant that my person hadn't got there yet. And your soul, your true soulmate, your true twin flame, the person that comes in, is supposed to teach you true, full self-love. And we obviously had not learned it. At least I know that I had not learned it completely in the past, because I was still hurt by the things that other people did to me. And so the last card that you've got here that you are feeling about your masculine is, maybe you are searching among the branches for what only appears in the roots. You can go out and you can find 1,000,000 people to date, but you're never going to find the nourishment and the nutrients like your twin flame's going to give to you, what they're going to provide. And that is, you know, and it breaks my heart when people say, you know, that a twin flame relationship is toxic and it's awful, but that's not true. The toxic relationship is your karmics. When it seems awful to the outside world, you have to look to see if it's healing you. And that's the difference. Your twin flame comes into your life so you heal yourself. Because they can't heal you. You have to do it on your own. Let's find out what's going on here. These are also some of the cards that I made. What is going on in this twin flame dynamic, please? What do we need to know for the higher good? If you are in separation, just know you are not alone. I have met so many people. The masculine is saying, the masculine does not want to do their inner work, obviously. Maybe they're taking a break from it. Who knows? Obviously, they started, but they don't like it. Stop trying to make me embrace my inner child. Last time that little asshole shot me with the BB gun. Alright, so that's what your masculine is saying. I need to take a break from doing this healing. Maybe they're getting tired. Maybe they're feeling the pain of the inner work. But obviously they tried. Alright, what else? What else, Spirit? Father God. You're from your masculine again. Work, 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 work. All I do is work, work, work. Alright, so your masculine could be throwing themselves into their job so that they don't have to focus on healing, so they don't have to think about you. Which could be their karmic, because I'm going to tell you right now, a job can be a karmic. It can be a third party. It will show up in a reading as a third party. It does not necessarily have to be another person. It can be a job. If whatever you put before your twin flame, that will show. If you put anything before your twin flame, it will show up. Sometimes even children will show up as a third party. Which, I'm going to tell you right now, like, you should always put your kids as a high priority. If you don't, there's something wrong there. Alright. What else, please, Spirit? Anything that the masculine or the feminine wants to say to the other? Come on, feminine. Don't you want to say something? Okay. Do not read the next sentence. Look at you being naughty. The feminine wants to play. Maybe the feminine is missing playing with you right now. The masculine is saying, well, there's that karmic. You're about to have a front row seat to the karmic smackdown. That's probably that tower moment that's about to happen. It's probably going to hit the masculine. Whatever they've put in front of the feminine, they're probably about to have some difficulty there. Something's gonna hit them, whether it's work or whether it's another person. Something, they're about to learn something. That tower moment can be learning something. Looks like the masculine's doing all of the working today, or the talking today. When we are apart for too long, my heart aches to be near you. Divine masculine to the feminine. They're missing you, feminines. Doesn't matter if they've got karmics all around them. They miss you. Common sense is not my strength, it's my superpower. All right, come on, feminines. You've got to say something. Something. I woke up like this. Feminines. All right, let's flip over. What is it here? Your twin flame. Someone in which you share the same soul filled with synchronicities. This is your confirmation. This is your twin flame. Whoever you're like, well, I look like shit today, but this is what I woke up like. Or maybe the feminine is trying to make theirself feel better. Whoever this is that you are thinking about right now when you're hearing this reading, this is your twin flame. That's your confirmation. This is your twin flame. Anything else? One can only affect you if you have a karmic account signed by your signature. This is telling you, masculines, you're probably realizing you purposely created this karmic. Whatever it is that you put before this feminine, you purposely did it because you signed it. You signed up for it. You went for it. I'm assuming that the feminine, since they're not speaking, more than likely they're doing their inside work, trying to pull their mind off of you. Which I try to focus on everything else, so I don't focus on the sadness. So it could be. But, yeah. Let's see here. Okay. These cards I made, they're kind of interesting. I made these cards also for me and my twin flame before there was like we separated. But I came in contact. I met my soulmate, the one that I was supposed to meet in October. And I didn't even want to go there because they're not my twin flame. I don't care if we have everything in common. I am not over my twin flame, and I wouldn't do that to someone. And if I knew that I would have two choices to make, that if I went after someone, I'm not going to be the person that purposely puts two people in a position where I have to hurt one person that I care about. I'm not going to do that. So I kind of I left it alone, and we just remained friends. And I made that clear. And so I went to bed one night, and the cool thing about twin flames is you have the power to join your person in the 5D world and in the dream state. And until you experience it for yourself, you're going to be like, no, it's not true. Yes, it is very true. My twin flame came to me in my dream, and he looked straight at me and he said, go pull the cards that you made for me. And I woke up instantly, and I'm like, what? No. So I kept getting this feeling. I kept hearing, go pull the cards, go pull the cards, go pull the cards, go pull the cards, go pull the cards. And I finally was just like, fine. And I got up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I went in and I pulled the cards for my twin flame, the ones that I made for my twin flame. And I was just like, all right, let me make sure I'm in the right mindset. I pulled one for my twin flame first. And Actually, two fell out. One said, I'm running and running and running. And the other one said, I'm playing hard to get. And I'm like, okay, yeah, this is, all right, I'm in the right mindset. So then I pulled one for my soulmate, the one that I had came in contact with. And instantly it said, liar alert. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna trust you. So I kind of stepped back even from the friendship part with the soulmate, in which your soulmate can be friends. Like, a soulmate does not have to be a person that you are romantically inclined to be with. It can be just a friendship. And I waited, and like clockwork, it was shown to me, and my twin flame came to me in my dream to warn me, because your twin flame is still you, and even though in my waking 3D life, I knew that I wasn't going to do anything, because I know that I still have healing to do. And if my twin flame returns after the healing gets done and after his healing gets done, then that's amazing. But I'm not ready to just run off and be with someone else. Like, in fact, the feeling of that makes me sick to my stomach. Like, I couldn't imagine that right now. Like, I would feel like I was cheating on them, even though I know that we're not together. And I know that he has the ability to go be who he wants. Me personally, I couldn't. Okay. So, I have never felt so alone as I have since you left me. Here's the feminine talking. I am trying to heal my and our soul. They're doing their work, masculines. That's probably why they're not talking. They're probably trying to focus on themselves so they can heal, so they can get right. Because you feel like home to them. Anything else for the feminines? You drive me crazy. Yep, that is a 100%. Here we go, masculines. I'm running and running and running. What else you want to say, masculines? What's going on? What do you want to say, masculines? What do you want your feminine to hear? Okay. The person you have feelings for, masculine, is an earth sign. They are a Capricorn, Taurus, or a Virgo. They have this in their chart somewhere. That means that they could have it in their sun sign. They could have it in their Venus sign. Or you could, if you need to switch the roles and the roles be reversed. If you have never pulled your natal chart, I suggest doing that. That will tell you so much more about the way that your life is supposed to go. Masculines. Alright. I want it to fall all the way out, masculines. Tell me what you want to say. What you want them to hear. Masculines, I took you for granted, but now I see. You got me all up in my feelers. I know sometimes masculines don't like to feel things, especially from what I understand, the feelings are extremely intense in this connection for the masculines, because they won't have felt anything like it. They've not had to confront this kind of feelings. When you feel a breeze, it's the kiss I blew you. Oh, masculines. I like when the masculines are being vulnerable in their feels. All right. I feel like we've pulled a lot. Let's pull the fairies here. Let's see what the fairies are gonna say. Anything? Emotional healing. As your heart heals of old emotional pain, you receive new blessings and love. This is what you guys are doing right now. You guys are healing and healing and healing while you're running and running and running. Okay. Let me see. What advice do the angels have for... What advice do you have, angels, for this twin flame connection? You gotta be kidding. Okay. I'm glad this is recorded. The angels are telling you this is your twin flame. The answers to your question involve a spiritually based romantic relationship. So the answers you are seeking, you will find with your twin flame, which is probably this misunderstanding. More than likely, you need to talk. You need to find out really what happened. That was good. Okay. Any other advice? The Ascended Masters. Powerful, loving, and wise spiritual teachers are watching over you and guiding you. They're telling you, twin flames, don't worry. You are being guided. They're watching over you. They've got the divine timing and right put in order. You're in separation for a reason. If you want to come out of separation, you have got to do your healing work. Yeah, of the heart. The heart and the soul. The answers that you seek is in your heart right now. Be open to giving and receiving love. And you need to understand also that sometimes in life, we get scared when we come in contact with true love. It seems really, really intense to us. And sometimes we run from that because we only want to accept the love that we feel we deserve. But, they're telling you right now, this is your twin flame. This is the person that you are meant to be with. They're going to drive you crazy. And you're probably running, or the other way around. They probably drive you crazy and you probably are so intense they're running. But when you guys slow down and let go of the crazy and just embrace and surrender to the path, hopefully you guys come back together. Hopefully the 5D is like the magician, as above, so below. You have to heal your soul so that the 5D can come down into the 3D world and you can experience it in the 3D and not just in the 5D. Let's see, anything else, angels, Spirit of Truth, Father God, anything you want to say to our twin flames right now? Clear yourself. Both of you need to do this, not just one. This is not aimed towards the masculine or the feminine. This is both of you. Ask the angels to release any toxic energies that you may have absorbed. It's not just your partner that has done. It's not just your partner that's the reason why you're in separation. It's because of you two. It takes two people to come together. It takes two people to separate. All right. I feel like the word, what is needed to be said came out. If you are in this twin flame journey and it is hard, don't give up. Don't doubt yourself. You are worth it. God looked down upon the earth and he saw you. He knew who you were going to be before he formed you, before he created you and put you on this earth. He knew who you would turn out to be. He set things in your path so that you can learn from them and grow from them. But he saw you and he knew that you were worthy of this journey and that you could handle it. And that's I always heard, God won't put more on you than you could withstand. And I was always like, well, God needs to stop thinking that I'm so badass because I'm breaking. But when I look back on everything that I've been through, and there's been a lot. When I look at my kids, I know that it was worth it, and God kept me here for a reason. And I'm hoping that this journey turns out with love, like real true love, the love that most twin flames have been searching for their whole life. And you can't get more true lovish than your twin flame because they are you. They are your soul. You are the same soul. So when you learn to love yourself more, your twin flame will ultimately love you more. So do your soul work. Learn to love yourself. Find your happiness. Okay, I'm going to stop talking now. I hope this helped, twin flames. You obviously both really love each other, even though you're in separation. I hope you guys come back into union before it's too late. When you do, if you do, don't take them for granted. And if at all possible, don't let them go again. All right. But I hope this helped, and I'm going to let this go here. And I will pull the cards, prayers for daughters and sons to end this reading. Just know you are loved very much. Very, very much. If you got a twin flame in the world, you can't not be loved. And I'm sending you guys love right now. I wish only the best for all of you. Okay. One for the daughters. And one for the sons. Here we go. Flip these around. All right. For the daughters. Lord, give my daughter a sensitive conscience that grieves when she disobeys you. Show her how freedom and blessings come through sharing her weaknesses with others. Provide godly people to pray for her and build her up. Give me wisdom as her parent, faithfully praying and helping her overcome her sins. Move through our prayers to bring your healing and power into her life. Amen. Confess your sins to each other and pray for each other so that you may be healed. The prayer of a righteous person is powerful and effective. Yes. Pray for your daughters. Pray for your feminine. Because your feminine is also a daughter. And for our sons. Hope in God. Father, when troubles come and the future is uncertain, my son can doubt that you're there. Give him faith that stands through any storm. Let him believe in your promises to protect and provide. Fix his hopes on eternity with you, knowing that in the end you'll make everything right. Help him to know you're always in control, trusting in the powerful, invisible God instead of what eyes can see. Amen. He did not waver regarding the promise of God, but was strengthened in his faith and gave glory to God. Romans 4:20. And pray for your masculines, feminines. Pray that they have the strength to make it through everything they're going through. Because a lot of times the masculines don't tell you what they're going through. They're not as open and they're not as vulnerable. Sometimes they don't like to appear as weak. But I'm going to say this right now, masculines. If you're going through stuff, don't listen to what the world has told you. It is not a weakness to show people that you're vulnerable. It's actually a strength. Because if you look around, most masculines won't. Because they're scared. And what is being scared? It is a weakness. So if you are actually willing to be vulnerable and to be open, that actually means you're a lot stronger. It's not a weakness. Be open with your feminine. Let them in so that they can pray for you too. Pray for your sons and your daughters without ceasing, because this world, 2020, has been hard. And my family has lost a lot of people. We actually just lost a friend who is not much older than me, who was supposed to come sing with just 2 weeks ago, and she got sick because she went out of town to South Carolina, and the water, I don't know what was in the water, but there was something in the water and it made her sick, and she passed away. And she had 2 sons the same age as mine, and it's just so hard to think, that there's a possibility you could leave your children. So you got to get them prepared before you go. You got to pray for them every day, because you don't know what's coming for them. You don't know what's coming for them after you're gone. You've got to prepare them. You've got to get them right. You want them to believe in something more than just this, more than just pain, something that gives them hope and reminds them that they are loved even when they don't feel the love. So let's pray extra hard for our daughters and our sons coming soon, because they need it. We all need it. And I will end there. I'm going to let you go, and I hope that you have a great rest of the day. Sending much love. Bye.